Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be changing my stator and rectifier on my 04 CBR1000. I rode it up to a car show, less than an hour on the bike. I stopped to get gas and the bike was like dead. So I got a jump and the bike was fine, and then it died again. So we kind of narrowed it down to the stator, and we're going to change the rectifier as well. So yeah, stay tuned. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the seat so we can unhook the battery, and then we're going to get started. Now the seat's off, we're going to unhook the battery, and we're going to do the negative first, then the positive. And I'm actually changing my battery out, so I'm going to take the whole battery out. So next we're going to take these two side fairings off here so that we can get to the stator cover. Oh, and zip tie? All right. So I got my fairing hanging up here looking all ghetto, only because my blinker's hooked in there and I don't want to tear these wires, and I don't feel like taking the blinker all the way out just to do this, so nigga rig it. Can I say that? I'm just playing. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the rectifier here, and I'm gonna remove the stator cover down here. Alright, so that's completely off. Alright guys, so I got the rectifier off and all of my bolts to my stator cover have been removed. So now we're just going to pry this off and get started on changing it out. So here's my stator cover. I'm just going to pry this off. I'm sure you mechanics out there have better tools for this part, but we're just going to make it do what it do. So I'm just going to pry from behind this piece here. And it's off. So here's my old Stator and my new Stator. And honestly, the old one doesn't look that bad. I already did all the work to take it off, so I'm just gonna go ahead and change it out since I'm changing out the rectifier, and I'll just have a whole new charging set done. So next I'm about to take these 4 screws out and this bolt here. They're already pre-loosened. And then I'll be able to take the Stator out and then put my new one in. And this part you might want to do somewhere where you don't mind oil getting everywhere, because there's going to be some oil in here. So I just laid down this like old FedEx bag, but you can do it like, you know, out on the concrete or just somewhere you don't care about getting oil everywhere. Oh, and also guys, just a disclosure, I'm not a fucking mechanic, so please don't be in the comments talking about I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I'm not a professional, because yes, I know that, but everybody can't afford to take their bike to the shop. Some people end up having to learn and do it themselves at home. If you have some, you know, constructive criticism, I will gladly take it, but otherwise, STFU. Alright, so now I got this bolt, this piece just comes out. Don't know what that's called, and then this comes out. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so this is my Stator cover. I cleaned out most of the oil, and I got a lot of that old sealant off from around here and up here too. There's still a little bit of marks of it, but it's pretty good. And then I'm gonna clean out on the bike where the Stator goes, wipe all the oil and stuff out of there, and then we'll be able to install everything back on. This is the new Stator. The main thing is you want to position this to where this part sits in here, this rubber piece sits in here, and also you'll be able to screw your bolts. So you see these holes here, your bolts should line up with that. So you'll look for these 4 corresponding ones. So that'll be for me at about right here. I don't know if you can see that really well, but the bolts can go straight through these 4 holes. This part I'm gonna turn here, and then I'm gonna cut this heat resistant tape down to about here so that I can get this rubber piece to fit in there. All right, so I got the Stator in place now. As you can see, I've cut down on that heat resistant tape so that this rubber piece fits in there. And then now I'm just gonna line up where my screws go. I did put a drop of this bolt tight in there just to help secure it once it's torqued. So now I'm just gonna place all of my screws where they go. Alright, so those 4 are where they should go. So I'm just going to tighten all this up. I'm going to place this, put that on, and then I'll come back when we put the Stator on the bike. Alright guys, so I got my Stator cover with the Stator inside. Bolts have been tightened. And then this is the ultra red high temp sealant that I'm using. So as you can see, it's all around the rim of the Stator cover in here, and I also have some on the other side. So I'm just gonna place this where it goes, and then I'm gonna put my bolts back in and tighten them up really good, and then we'll put the rectifier on afterwards. Alright guys, so we got the Stator back in here, down pretty good, all those screws all the way around, and then I cleaned up a lot of the sealant around the outside too. So now I'm just going to put the rectifier on here and hook it up, and then we'll get to the battery, and then we'll be almost done. So this was the old one, this is the new one, and then this is the plate that goes behind it here. So it's there, and so there. So zip tie these to the frame and then we'll be back. Alright guys, so we got the battery on, battery back in the bike is charged, and then we got the stator and rectifier on. Everything's hooked up right now. So right now I'm gonna use this voltmeter. I'm gonna set it to 12 volts and I'm gonna check the charge of the battery with the bike on at idle to make sure it's around 13 or 14. That's gonna let me know that the stator is working and also that the rectifier is converting the voltage properly to keep the battery charged and supply the rest of the accessories of the bike. All right, so I got this on and set to 12. So I'm just gonna, these here. I think that's good enough. We'll see. And then this one in here. And then you see it's on. It's reading the battery's above 12 volts. So now I'm gonna turn it on. I'll give it a second. And then crank it up. So first ride since the stator changed. So bike's been running fine. There's the stator cover. But yeah, the bike's been running good. Temperature is great. Power is good. No problems with the dash. Crank right up, no problem. Looks good, rides good. We are good to go.